So, I started reading Onyx Storm about an hour ago, and I realized that there are some things that I totally do not remember happening, or there's some things that I'm not cleared about, or something that happened that I totally forgot. And I was like, I was thinking to myself, should I reread the entire Fort Wing and then Iron Flame and then read Onyx Storm? Or should I just dig around in my brain and try to see if I could find the main points or plot or something along that line? And then I thought that if I'm wondering about all these things, wouldn't other people want to know like what happened? Because book series are just like TV shows. We wait too long on the new season, and suddenly the new season is here, and we don't know what's going on. Normally, I rewatch like a few episodes of the old season of the previous seasons, but I don't think that's gonna work. So we're just gonna go ahead and do a quick recap. I'm gonna try to let it be as spoiler free as possible. However, if I do end up spoiling anything, rest assured it will not be anything like that is a part of like the major plot. So I have Fort Wing, which I read back in May of last year, and how I remember that it was back in May. Funny enough, I made my first crochet turtle. That's how I know it was back in May last year. I read this, and then I went through like a massive reading slump, and then this was one of the first books I read after I come out of my reading slump. This was back in September, and I remember that this was back in September because immediately after reading this, I went ahead and I pre-ordered Onyx Storm, the deluxe edition or whatever, something that Amazon should be sending me about Monday. So this is like way heavier. To be honest, I actually listened to this along with the ebook because this is new. Like the only reason why these pages have been turned was because I made a TikTok. I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna have to read it. But we're here to do like a quick recap. So this is book one of the Empyrean series. This I'm gonna lean back in my chair. It might make a little funny noise. I'm gonna pull you closer as well. So this follows, I think, Violet Sorrentale. I always call her Scarlet, but this far follows Violet Sorrentale, and she's like 19 or 20, something along that line. She was trained all her life to be a scribe because that's what her dad was. And then her dad died, and because her mom is like the commander for a war college called Bezgayet, her mom basically like told her that you gotta go, you have to become a writer. So she goes. We see her become a writer. We see her going through the channel through all the challenges. We see her crossing the parapet, all that lovely stuff. Also, she has this disease or this condition. I don't want to say disease because I just believe that that's just not a word I like using. But she has this condition that either makes her have like brittle bone or something along that line. Hold on. Alexa, cancel my alarm.
The time is 6:40 a.m. The current weather is -6 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly clear skies. Today, you can expect mostly sunny weather, with a high of 20 degrees and a low of -6 degrees.
So I think she has like brittle bone or something along that line. Also, her hair is silver, and there's a lot going on at this college. Also, her sister, like her older sister Mira, is also a dragon rider. Then it also has like the enemies to lovers trope because like the love interest is Zayden, and Violet's mother killed Zay, um, Zayden's dad, and then a bunch of stuff happened. However, to be honest, now that I'm here sitting down, and this is also a book that I gave 5 star. Now that I'm here sitting down and I'm looking back, I don't know. Other than all of the few points that I've just mentioned, I'm gonna start digging around in my brain because I want to know what happened. I know I have like a little bookmark thing here, and I don't know why I bookmarked that. Was it something interesting that happened? Also, all I know is that Scarlet also has like the baddest dragon. I don't know. I think the reason why why I read this, to be honest, is the dragon, because I don't know. Like, I don't know if you've watched any of my videos. You know, I always say like the plot in this book could be complete shit, and I'll read it just because like I believe that the dragons or Tauren, the dragon Tauren, that's Violet's dragon. I believe like he gets a lot of screen time in this book. And closer to the end, like a part of like year one of because that's what she's in. She's in year one. You see, I have to be referencing this book. Oh, I forgot. There's also her best friend, her childhood best friend Dane that's there. Oh, also when you bond with a dragon, you get like a special ability that's yeah, like the dragons kind of have like powers or something along that line. And when you bond with a dragon, you get an ability from bonding with that dragon. Also, in order to proceed to get accepted and become a cat. I could be saying this shit wrong. No. There's a page. I think there's a page in if it's not this book, but there's a page that explains like the ranking and stuff. Oh, it's not this one. Anyways, so you have to be bonded with a dragon in order for you to go on to become to be accepted in the college. First, you have to cross the parapet. Strong wings, you could get tumbled over the side, all that lovely stuff. Once you cross that, then you go into training where you do like daily fights. And Scarlet is a cheater. She fights like really, really dirty, but she's smart. I love that about her. And then once you've done all of that, you have the part where it's called Treshin, Tressin. I could be saying that wrong, but it's called Tressin, whatever. Where this is where you go out and you bond with the dragon, and the dragon doesn't like you, he will burn you. And so if you don't get bonded with a dragon, you have to like repeat. You have to go repeat your year and come back again because if you don't have a dragon, what are you doing here, right? And then we get to the bonding stage of the dragon. And then Zayden and Violet got together. I kind of really loved it. They said the book would have like a lot of smut, but it was not much. And then I'm trying to remember like the minor little details. All I can say is I'm afraid that if I reread this book, it's not going to be a 5 star given all that I know now because half the book was spent on just year one of being like a dragon rider. Nothing much happened. The bulk of what happened in this book, to be honest, was like at the end. This is not supposed to be a review. This is supposed to be a recap. This is why when I read a book, I try to like leave it on the back burner of my brain because now that I'm going through and I'm analyzing to remember, nothing happened for like the first um for 3 quarters of the book. The bulk of what happened is at the very end when, and that's the part that I can't spoil for you. Like separate right. So there's a lot of cover up going on. The higher heads they cover up a lot of stuff, and then Zayden and his whole group of people, they're like sons of rebellions. They're he along with some of his relatives, they're kids of their parents were a part of some rebellion group or something along that line. And then you see me digging around. I might I might just reread book one, but it's not. I remember a lot, but the bulk of what I remember and I can recap with, I just don't want to spoil it for you. So I'm trying to let this be spoiler free as possible. And then, so at the end, there's this big game, war game at the end. And so in the midst of the war game, Zayden and Violet got sucked away somewhere else, and that's when they start to uncover the truth of what's really going on at Basquiat. Oh, the higher hits are lying. Um, if you guys, okay, let me just say, if you guys are okay with watching like a spoiler version of this, I'll be more than happy to make the spoiler version because believe it or not, I remember a lot more, but it's borderline spoiler. Like the bulk of the main stuff that happened in this book, to be honest, they're big plot twists, so I can't tell you them without spoiling the book. So that's all that happened. The the spoiler free version, book one. Book two. What I loved is this picked up right where book one left off, and since I started reading an Onyx Storm, I realized that I love like I will take off 1 star from a series if when I go to read the other book, it does I don't want okay, you end the book two, massive cliffhanger, lovely. Why do we have a 10-year time jump in book three? That's what I have to give Rebecca Yarros her props for. She starts the other books right where book one left off. So even if you don't remember, even and the way how her books end is you cannot like I said, the first like 3/4 of the book, really slow. But like the last quarter of that, fast paced, action packed. Those are stuff that you're gonna remember. So when book two or book three starts, you're gonna remember immediately what happened. Because this picked up right where book one left and like book one left up on like a massive cliffhanger. But I also should add that I'm that person like I can uncover plot twists. Like like whenever I read a book and I start reading, I was like, yeah, I know this is a part of the plot twist. Like the major plot twist that ended book one, I figured that out. There's just too much reference to it and subtle little hints that I just knew something was off. But boy, you see, if I had a secret, to be honest, and I wanted someone to keep that secret from me, but Violet would be the person. Like that girl has so much secrets. Like she's like I'm trying to remember what's the name of the Greek god who's carrying the sky on his back. I won't remember. I watched the Greek mythology stuff, but I don't do names. So I picked up right where book one left off. Massive drama. Oh, and in terms of spice and smut, Iron Flame, like there's a whole my throne, my crown, my seat. Oh, and also this is where you actually learn a lot more about Zayden and his history and his past. Like in book one, you don't really learn anything about Zayden. Book two is where you learn the bulk about Zayden. Also, this is where you learn that there are hints in book one that the world is not as it seems. And as you get closer to the end of book one, you'll know for sure. But then when you get to book two, like in terms of fantasy, if I was to recommend any of these two books, I'd recommend this one because in terms of the fantasy world aspect of the book, I believe that Iron Flame, like you learn a lot more about the world of Navarre and not just Basquiat. You learn about the other borders, and there's a little section where they had like different people from like different parts of the world just talking, and then you get to realize that there's this massive thing going around on book talk. Oh, books are not political, but this is just politics. The people in power are keeping secrets and hiding. And then there was this guy, I'm trying to remember his name. He was just out for Violet. I mean, he was mentioned so of that any page you flip to, you'll see his name. Let me see how correct I am. His name is Verlin, Gerlin. His name, I think his name is Professor Varish. No, yeah, I was right. Professor Varish. I know it was something name. So he had it out for Violet. Also, I was just about to say something. It was on the line of spoiler. So for if you've read Watch Iron Flame, you probably know that Violet and Zayden is bonded some ways. I won't spoil you for anyone who hasn't read or watched anything about it. And so like they spent like half the book trying to keep Violet and Zayden away from each other, all that stuff. Also, like I just wish that we had gotten like more scenes with Myra, that's her sister. And I'm trying to like see what else that happens that is worthy of you remembering before you read Onyx Storm. At the end, there are some. Oh, we also learned that Violet's dad knew because he was a scribe. They're the ones who keep the history of Navarre. Like Violet's dad like knew a lot about the world, and he has this book that he used to like he gave to Violet, and he used to like tell them story about like Viren and some other like creepy little monster. Separate apart from like Buzz Guy and the whole bonded with dragons, there's another set of people. I don't remember what their name is. They're bonded with like birds, like big birds, like hawk. Like if you think Lord of the Ring with Gandalf and that bird that he's always calling and flying on. When I have a visual memory, I have a visual mind. So when I think of the bird, I always picture picture that bird. Just like when I read Fort Wing or Iron Flame, I always picture the dragon being like the dragon from more like House of Dragon. There's just another, and I always think of Aragon. I have the book right here. I always think of Aragon as well, and I always think of that big dragon. His name is I don't remember his name. There's this big dragon in Lord of the Rings that I always think of as well. But like I don't know. Like if you guys want like a spoiler version of this, I will. Like there's so much that happened in these two books that there's no way for me to tell you like every little detail without spoiling it. It would have to be spoiler, and I want this to be spoiler free. That's just my. This was more for like. I'm gonna be the selfish person here. This recap was more for me, and then an extension to you, because I don't know. It is as you heard, Alexa. I've been up all night. I started listening to Onyx Storm because Amazon is not shipping my deluxe, and then I went on YouTube, and someone was saying that Amazon was canceling deluxe order. That book is for $30 now, so I pray they don't cancel my order. But I'm trying to remember what else happened. There was a great split divide. I don't know. Looking back now, I think I read this book for the dragon. I think I read it for the dragon. And also, like, there are gonna be a lot of recaps out there that will be spoiler recaps. I don't like. I'll be watching like I'm probably not the best at explaining any of this, so I'll go and I'll find like spoiler free recaps because at some point I might reread these books, and, or like that's why I didn't want to read Iron Fort Wing in the first place. Because I went on TikTok and everyone is saying that, oh, it's smut, 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 smut. And I was like, and then they were talking about dragon smut, and I was like, no. And I read it for myself. I waited months later when I thought it died, and I read it for myself, and I actually liked it. Yes, they're a little smart, and you're gonna learn. Iron Flame is the book where, as I said, like you have to read Fort Wing to get to Iron Flame. But if I could choose one of the two books, like if someone said like if you could read one book of the two, which one you read? I'll definitely read Iron Flame because Iron Flame is where you learn the bulk about what's going on, and almost everything that happened in Fort Wing is then somehow mentioned in this. So you're not really missing out anything. I don't know. I think I might have to reread this. I don't know. Like I'm trying to see like what else really happened that I think like wasn't spoiler free. But the bulk of what happened, like I can't like say the bulk of what happened. As I said, like I don't know. It's funny how you have two books and the bulk of the and you want to recap it, but a bulk of what happened is key to the plot. Like so, and a lot. Alexa, cancel my alarm.
It's 7 a.m. The current weather is -6 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies. Today's forecast has mostly sunny weather, with a high of 20 degrees and a low of -6 degrees.
So we've been on here talking for the last 20-30 minutes. It is currently 7. I'm gonna have to go get my daughter up and get her ready for school. So we're at the end of our vlog. Like leave a comment down below. Let me know if there's any non-spoiler free plot point or something that happened in this book that I may or may not have missed. I'm gonna finish drinking my raspberry tea. As you heard Alexa, it's -6 degrees. I'm gonna have to find some really, really warm clothing because I'm gonna have to walk at least 10 minutes, 20 minutes, do a 20 minutes walk, 10 minutes to the bus stop, and then 10 minutes back. And when I get back, I'm gonna go write my novel, or I might sleep, I don't know. But anyways, or I have the audiobook for Onyx Storm. I might listen to the audiobook and probably do a book review, like a mini book review. I don't know. Anyways, we're at the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching me yap or recap or not recap. Hope I didn't waste the last 20, 20, 30 minutes of your life. If I have, I really do apologize from the bottom of my heart. With that being said, have a wonderful year, month, week, day, hour, minute, second, and I'll see you in another bookish video.